Hi Gemini, welcome to Carol's Universe, Tarot Readings from the Heart. Thanks ever so much for joining me on your week ahead. It's the 16th of February through to the 22nd of February. Guys, I've already got your cards laid. Ugh. So very quickly, I record now. If I'm on screen and talking to the screen, I tend to record via my iPad Pro. And what happens is if I'm recording via my HD camera and the doorbell goes, or, you know, I get a call from someone or something like that, I can easily kind of take the call or go and answer the door, come back and finish off the reading and then just cut out the bits in which, you know, we're interrupting the reading. But with the HD, with the iPad, it's a little bit trickier for me to do that, because it means that if I do cut the video down, then I've got to try and store it, and then I've got to render it, and sometimes the programs on my iPad Pro to render it to, I don't really like the way they turn out looking on YouTube. So that means that I've got to completely get rid of the reading that I've just been doing and redo it again. And I just got a call from my twinny, and via Messenger, which interrupts the recording. So, you know, what's happened is that I've got the cards laid down. We'd come to the end of the reading. I was just about to pull your advice card. So yeah, this will only be like a 5-6 minute reading anyway. What we're using this week, Gems, is the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot, new deck of mine, very nice. And Spiritual Advice is Karen Kay's Oracle of the Fairies, okay? And yeah, let's get on. I'm doing a 20 card reading. So really what I decided to do this week, I didn't want to do a Celtic cross where we were kind of forming a story. I just wanted to have a look at general energies around you. So some of you guys this week, the advice from the universe is that some of you guys have really been, you seem to have been facing certain challenges, because this is a battle as well. Some of you guys are battling some, you know, pressures, burdens, 10 of Wands. Some of you guys might have also been battling against, and it's also with the 7 of Wands, this card shows up when people are like, give it to me. So people are making requests of you with the 7 of Wands energy when you get this card showing up. So people, this is the card of demands being made on you. And some of you guys might have been struggling, 10 of Wands energy, with the demands that are being placed on you. Especially if you're working for example, a worldwide organisation with the Hierophant and the World energy. I feel that the universe is trying to tell you, don't worry. This will not last. This too shall pass, with the 8 of Cups. So I think that if you have been struggling with a very demanding job, basically with the 7 of Wands and the 10 of Wands, if you've been struggling with a very demanding job, working for a worldwide organisation, a big organisation, or some of you guys are in a very high position in the workplace. So the Hierophant is somebody who's an authority figure. So this could be somebody in a very high authoritative position here. This is the top of the top with that World energy. You know, it's kind of saying this too shall pass. But more than anything for me, Hierophant in the world, possibly a worldwide organisation showing here. I do feel though also the universe could be telling you, Gemini, that if this week you are, you know, you're battling some form of burden, pressure. Again, it could be to do with work, because Wands are work orientated. You need to get some advice with that Hierophant energy showing there, okay? Because some of you guys are actually feeling very limited. Now, the World energy isn't just about the ending of a cycle. The World energy, also ruled by Saturn, represents somebody who has physical boundaries imposed on them. So some of you guys are really feeling that you've got all of these boundaries imposed on you with the World energy, by all of these, you know, by all of these responsibilities some of you guys have to carry. You really need to get advice on how, with the 8 of Cups here. 8 of Cups is actually first decan in Pisces, ruled by Saturn, but the Saturn in this particular card, the 8 of Cups, is released and it's not held on to. So if some of you guys are battling lots of responsibilities, especially in the workplace this week, Gemini, also I feel Spirit is telling you, go and get some advice on how these boundaries with the World energy can be released, with the 8 of Cups energy showing here, okay? The next piece of advice from the universe this week is that I think that some of you guys have been heavily criticised by someone here, because the 9 of Swords is 9 of Swords is second decan in Gemini, so that's you on the card more than likely. And this is somebody, a Libra possibly, could be Queen of Swords, doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be any of that, but this could be somebody who's been criticising you. You've been really upset about somebody who's criticised you about your work. All right, so if you've been really upset, Gemini, about somebody who's criticised you with the Queen of Swords about the work that you do, This is what happens when you're recording on the iPad Pro. You can't cut out all the times where you're bending down to pick stuff up. Yeah, if you've been really upset, Gemini, about somebody who was heavily critical of your work, I actually feel that this person wants to say they're sorry. And with the hand held out, it actually looks like this person wants to say they're sorry. So I just feel that somebody who may have heavily criticised you, Gemini, will want to say that they're sorry, and I can see a reconciliation taking place with the Temperance and the Three of Cups. Also, I feel that if you've been heavily critical of somebody's work here, Gemini, it may be a week that the universe is telling you to try and reconcile the differences with that Three of Cups and the Temperance energy showing there as well. This week also, I feel that something you've been waiting for, Gemini, in this week, the next couple of weeks, will be resolved with that Four of Swords energy showing here, okay? It may be with the Judgment energy as well, that you're getting some news about an offer. Especially if you put down an offer on a house, you may be getting some news concerning that. All right. Also, it could be that a dream is being fulfilled. The Knight of Cups is the dream and the Ten of Cups is fulfillment. So a dream is being fulfilled this week as well. Suddenly out of the blue, the Judgment energy, a dream is being fulfilled with that Ten of Cups. Some of you guys also, it may be that you are being called to explore your calling, for example, because the Knight of Cups is following his heart. The Judgment energy is calling you. So this week, it may be that something that you're waiting for, Three of Wands energy, is being resolved, finally. There's a resolution to something here. Finally, you're getting what you want. Some of you guys, you are being called to follow your heart. All right, this is all about the completion of a journey here with the Ten of Cups, or the completion of a matter. So you may be being called to follow your heart in terms of the completion of a matter. Some of you guys, it may be if you've been waiting for something to happen, it's being resolved this week. It may be that you're receiving a call, maybe, because this can be receiving a call out of the blue. Possibly it's something to do with the offer on a house, that type of thing. All right, sale of a house, that type of thing. Finally, I feel that some of you guys have been really worried as well with that Five of Wands energy showing there. About a cheat, Seven of Swords and the Ace of Wands, somebody who's sleeping around, somebody who's having sex with other people. You can see this is possibly an air sign, doesn't have to be, but they show as a King of Swords, somebody who's been juggling other people on the side, I think. And I think in terms of love, I'll ask what the advice is concerning this. Universe Spirit, if you're telling the Gemini that they've been worrying about somebody who's cheating on them, what is the advice for Gemini in 2 cards? Right, the advice is Eight of Swords and the Nine of Cups energy. This would be putting on a brave face despite your discomfort. Why would you need to do that? And it's telling you to have strength, because it is going to come to light. Something is going to come out here. Okay, something is going to come out. So it's telling you to hold strong, saying the advice is, some of you guys, and I think it's because you don't really know what's going on. That's why you're worrying with that Five of Wands about somebody cheating on you. So some of you guys, the universe is saying, if you've been worried about somebody who's cheating on you, they're playing around with that King of Swords and the Two of Coins. It's saying, put a brave face on it. Despite your feelings of the Eight of Swords, put a brave face on it. Because, yeah, so despite your feelings of worry and anxiety with the Eight of Swords, put a brave face on it and hold tight. Because I think that the truth is going to come out, and it may come out in a way that you're not expecting with the Wheel of Fortune energy. And actually, the Wheel of Fortune is also divine timing. So it might be saying, yeah, you may be worried about someone cheating on you, but despite your anxieties, put a brave face on and keep strong. Because the Tower, it might be unexpectedly, within divine timing, the truth is going to out. Okay, or within divine timing, this person's going to get what they deserve, that type of thing. Let's have a quick look at what the advice is for the week through spiritual advice for you guys through the tarot. I'm just going to put these other cards to the side here as well. Let's put these here. I'm just going to see if there's anything else I can see in the reading. Any other advices, any other advice that the universe may want to tell you this week. Let's have a look. I certainly feel that the advice from the universe is also that you need to turn your back on a fight. So if you're dealing with a squabble, a fight, a conflict, the best thing is to turn your back on it. Some of you guys, you need to stand your ground as well. I think you need to stand your ground with the Seven of Wands energy showing here, especially if you're being pressured by a Hierophant. Might be by a boss or a person within the family. If there's pressures from people in the family or bosses, you need to stand your ground, showing here. Turn your back on any arguments maybe this week. Okay, also the Seven of Swords and the Ace of Wands. Avoid getting angry. So turn your back on arguments, avoid getting angry in those cards there, because this can be avoiding the Ace of Wands. So avoid getting angry as well, showing here. Okay. I feel that if you guys have been worried about completing a project, Gemini, it will come to completion maybe within the next 10 days or so. You'll complete it very soon, showing up here. Okay. And I do feel, yeah, you're being awakened with the Judgment energy to follow your heart's desires here. Alright. This week. Alright, let's have a look at what the spiritual advice is. What's the spiritual advice that you have for Gemini this week? What is the spiritual advice you have for Gemini this week? There's a magical gateway here, Gemini. It's saying, it takes courage and trust to venture into the unknown. Yet this is where the greatest rewards are. It's time to step boldly forward without looking back. Which is true. Because some of you guys, it may be in the first area here, that with this Seven of Wands and the Ten of Wands, you guys are facing a battle. A lot of pressure, possibly in a job that you do with the Hierophant or within the company that you work in. Some of you guys, it is time to end the cycle and search for something new as well with that World and the Eight of Cups as well. So that's another thing that we're looking at this week. Very interesting reading. Alright, that's your reading for the week, guys. If you'd like to order a reading, click on the comment section below or the end screen. Take care. Bye-bye.